graphic where you pop out of the Team Arena Challenge thing and go, oh yeah, or something like that. That'd be great, wouldn't it? That'd be great.
We're gonna need you to come in on Saturday.
That'd be great. All right. Well, speaking of other players who are pretty great, on the left side of the map, in the orange, it looks like this time around, from the team Type, it is real. That's an interesting smiley with a comma for the nose. I've never seen that before. It's
like a more realistic nose, though. I like it. I mean, it works.
Yeah, I might start using that. It's pretty cool. On the right side of the map, using the clever emoticons from the team Acer, it is Paranoid, or Paranoid. It's actually Paranoid.
Did I just put down Paranoid, didn't I? I apologize.
Paranoid.
2 seconds, and it is now Paranoid. Look at that.
There we go.
Not disrespecting the players on here. Oh, real! I hope easy win again. Oh.
Yep. Well, it was an easy win for him. I mean, he went up against a cheesy build, and he was like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to defend this cheesy build and get an easy win. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, he's not being BM, man. I mean, that's just kind of calling it like it is.
This map is very similar to Ohana in a lot of respects, though, which is kind of cool. It is a 4-player map as opposed to a 2-player map. Okay. We can see our opponents are spawning cross spawns, but you have a lot of similarities. I hope easy win for me, too, says Paranoid.
History.
There's a pretty small wall right here. You can forge fast expand that pretty easily. Yes, you can open up the destructible debris later on in the game, but other than that, you have another set of destructible debris, which leads to your third base, kind of similar to Ohana in that respect, so it's pretty easy for players to take 3 bases, pretty easy for players to wall off up at the front. So this game could play out similarly. Well, I think this game, had we seen a normal macro game, I suppose, on the last map, could play out similar to Ohana in those respects.
I think the big difference here is that there's just not as much area for Zerg to get good flanks outside of the natural as there is at Ohana, so that's definitely going to need to be something that Acer Paranoid keeps in mind as he kind of sets up his army to engage Real's army later in the game, is that you do really need to watch for those areas where you'll get funneled into a smaller choke. Obviously, there's the choke of the natural, but outside the natural, that's where a lot of Zergs want to engage those Protoss pushes, and it's a little bit more difficult on this map. I got to say, that area is not big enough to really get a good flank in a lot of cases.
Very true, very true. So we'll see how Paranoid takes that into account now. He's got a queen and a few links coming up, so 6 links, as a matter of fact. And take map control and put on a little pressure. Of course, we see already, wow, is that actually full walling that off right away with a photon cannon as part of the wall. No, okay, I'm sorry, there is one space. He's just going to continue to build this out a little bit further than normal. Wall. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I've never seen that configuration before. I like that. The gateway kind of protects things to a certain extent. That's kind of neat. That's cool. So these lings might be able to... they're not even going to be able to sneak past the cannon. One might be able to get past and get a scout knife. Yeah, that's probably going to work. Oh, never mind. It won't. He might have been able to sneak a link past. But the reason... I mean, a lot of Zergs will make 4 lings, but the reason we see Zergs making 6 now is not because they want to try to do damage with it. They want to protect these 3 hatcheries that a lot of Zergs are going for. You know, they'll just kind of spread the Zerglings out all over that map, make sure they see any sort of forward pylons going down.
Right.
And, you know, if you look at the mini-map, that's exactly what we're seeing Paranoid do right now, using his overlords and his links to just get a ton of vision.
Yep, he's pretty much everywhere on the map. And being very diligent about checking behind his mineral lines, just to make sure there's not any sort of cannon play going on, as we will see Protoss players go into that every once in a while. Cybernetics Core and a Zealot on the way now for Type.ReaL. Sorry?
I just wanted to mention one thing real quick here. This is what a lot of Zerg players want to do with their first Overlord, is get it in position to watch the gases at the natural expansion. And this map can be a little bit tough to do that because one of the gases is kind of on the inside of the expansion rather than the outside. There it is, that one right there. Yeah, it's tough to see. So on this map, you'll usually see Zergs play a little bit safer than they normally would just because there's a little bit less knowledge that they'll have. You know, those 2 gases at the natural, again, are just so important. So if you can't see one, brings a big X factor into your defense plans. That's a lot of lings being made, actually, by Paranoid right now.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I don't know if he plans to start going to work on the destructible debris or something like that, but...
I think he just wants to... Well, I mean, he does see these Zealots coming across, so I'm sure it does have something to do with that.
Yeah.
But this is definitely more lings than you usually see made. He's only droned up to about 30-something right now.
And he has sacrificed quite a bit of economy in addition because he decided to just do 1 gas very, very early on. It was at the 30 supply mark he actually threw up his first gas. 6 gates now hitting for real, though, so this is going to be 7 gates. No Twilight Council yet, though, so maybe it's just going to be a big 7-gate push.
Well, maybe Paranoid knows more about his opponent than we do, in that he's kind of blindly preparing for exactly what Real is doing, honestly.
Yeah.
So with these units kind of started a little bit earlier, he's going to be able to do exactly what he's doing here. Kill off the Zealots, kill the Stalker. Oh, I think he might see the probe, too. I think he did.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to tear
Yep.
after that now.
That's pretty good. Yep. Okay, I thought maybe he was just going to send one Ling after the probe and then break the others off to go after the Stalker. That would work, too. But as it is, he's going to be in a pretty good place to defend this, I think. He's even making another wave of drones. Paranoid's playing this really well. I think he does kind of expect this type of all-in from Real, or not really all-in, but just very, very intense 2-base.
It's getting close to all in, though.
Seven gates is all in, isn't it? I don't play Protoss, but 7 gates should be pretty close to all in.
He cut
at
at 36 probes, though. I mean, that's a big indicator that this is a pretty strong all in. So
that's a good point too.
3 more pylons coming up now. Forward pylon is one of those as well, so we will be able to continue warpins here in just a bit. Not getting +1 armor though, so it's not like a big 1-1 push. It is just going to be on +1 attacks and a massive amount of units.
And, well, we'll have to see if Paranoid's ready for it. He's got +1 carapace on the way. That'll help his Zerglings survive a little bit longer against the Zealots here, but really the big important thing is to make sure that the forward pylons don't go down, and he actually missed one. There is one going down, I believe, at the top of the ramp there. Yeah, there it is, the probe in the pylon. Oh, no. Okay, he does see it with the Overlord now, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, it looks like the Zerglings are a little bit out of position. They're actually trying to take down one of those forward pylons right now. Yep. They will get it. That does supply block Real as well. But this is a ton of +1 units that are making their way in. Yep. Spine Crawlers just about ready to come up. Looks like he's prioritizing units more than the Spine Crawlers. Now finally sending a few of those Zealots to go after the defenses that are being put down.
Yeah, having to fight with all those drones is never something that you really want to do. And it looks like he is going to take down that forward pylon here, so that may let him finally clean this up, but he's definitely going to lose some drones.
Yes, he is. He's lost quite a bit of supply as well.
Maybe
I don't
more.
believe I'm going to take a look at the main here real quick. Yeah, there was just double Evo chambers. Yep. There were no Roach Warrens at all, and of course, even with pretty good upgrades, which they're still quite a ways off, Zerglings are going to melt to those Zerglings are going to melt to those Zealots.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of botched it a little bit. I mean, he didn't catch that probe as it got near the third base, and not having a Roach Warren too. I mean, obviously he wanted to go for the double upgrades instead, but against something like this, it just comes a little bit too late.
Yeah.
So he lost his third base. Losing a lot of supply, too, yeah.
Yeah, lost a ton of Lings there. It's 54 supply to 72 at the moment, and Real really starting to kind of close the grip here as Queen is going to fall in just a bit. A bunch of those drones pulled off the line from the Natural as well. Macro Hatch probably not going to get anywhere. How many drones have been lost? 27.
He wanted another easy win, and it looks like he's going to get it. Type.ReaL taking down Android, or I always want to say Paranoid Android when I see that, but there's the GG from just regular old